But in those days, the idea that your scientific theories could be mechanized, the predictions could be mechanized, was absolutely astonishing.
In archaeology, every discovery sheds light on our past. From ancient cities hidden beneath dense jungles to artifacts revealing lost civilizations, these remarkable discoveries captivate our imagination and deepen our understanding of history. Join us as we explore these extraordinary revelations, uncovering the mysteries and marvels that shape our view of ancient worlds. Number 15. 18th century vampire grave. While we in the 21st century understand that vampires are nothing more than fictional characters, the people of the 18th century harbored real fears about these supernatural beings. This belief is evidenced by a grave unearthed in Bodzia, Poland, in early September 2022 by archaeologists from Torun's Nicolaus Copernicus University. Inside the grave, they discovered the remains of a woman with a sickle placed across her neck.
It was very common to put a sickle over the neck of the person who could be a vampire.
Upon consulting with experts, the archaeologists learned that this was a common practice used to bury those suspected of being vampires, as the sickle was believed to prevent the deceased from rising from the grave to attack the living. This discovery provides a compelling insight into the superstitions that were deeply ingrained in 18th century European society. The fear of the dead returning as vampires wasn't merely a tale for the fireside, it was a serious concern that influenced how people were buried. Though these 18th century Poles would not have envisioned vampires in the way Bram Stoker later described them, belief in vampire-like beings has existed for thousands of years. Ancient civilizations such as the Babylonians, Assyrians, and Akkadians had their own myths about blood-drinking demons or spirits, like the Lilitu in Babylonian folklore, believed to prey upon the living, especially infants and pregnant women. In the case of the woman found in Bodzia, her protruding front teeth might have been enough for the superstitious locals of her time to label her as a witch, a figure often thought to be capable of rising from the dead as a vampire. This belief was so pervasive that it not only dictated burial practices, but also profoundly affected how people lived and died.
Quite small area, literally about 3 meters by 3 meters, we excavated somewhere between 30 and 40 skeletons.
Despite the fears surrounding her, she was buried with a silk cap, indicating that she was of relatively high social status. This detail prompts intriguing questions about her community's perception of her. Was she seen as both feared and respected, or does the presence of the silk cap suggest a sense of pity or remorse from her family, who may have been skeptical of the superstition but felt obligated to adhere to tradition? Interestingly, the use of iron and sharp objects in burial practices was not uncommon in Europe during this period. People would often place stakes, knives, or sickles on the bodies of the deceased, believing these items would prevent the dead from rising. This was just one of many protective measures employed, which also included placing bricks or stones in the mouths of the dead to stop them from returning as vampires. In some instances, bodies were even buried face down, so if they did rise, they would dig further into the earth instead of emerging to haunt the living. Number 14. Pipe organ. While not a recent discovery, the ongoing efforts to restore a unique find have captured the attention of historians and music enthusiasts alike. More than a century ago, archaeologists excavating beneath the Basilica of the Nativity in Bethlehem uncovered the fragmented remains of a pipe organ dating back to the 12th century. This remarkable find is recognized as the oldest pipe organ ever discovered, offering a rare glimpse into the musical traditions of the medieval period. When it was first unearthed, the organ was in a state of disrepair.
This is the only organ from the period that has been preserved in an incredible state of preservation.
However, Bethlehem's dry climate had remarkably preserved the metal components, such as pipes and bells. Unfortunately, the wooden parts of the organ, essential to its structure and function, had not survived the passage of time, leaving restorers with a considerable challenge. In July 2021, Spanish organist and medieval music historian David Catalunya undertook the formidable task of restoring this ancient instrument.
Possibly with the hope that one day it could be used again. The instrument is really like frozen in time.
Catalunya's expertise in medieval music has positioned him uniquely for the challenge of not just reconstructing the organ, but also bringing it back to life, enabling it to play music as it once did nearly a millennium ago. The restoration process goes beyond simply reassembling the surviving pieces. It involves painstakingly recreating the missing wooden components with a high degree of accuracy. These parts, including the wind chest and the frame that housed the pipes, are vital to the organ's functionality and sound. The materials and design used in this restoration must closely match the original to preserve the organ's authenticity and historical integrity. This meticulous work is essential to ensure that the organ, once completed, will resonate with the same melodies that were heard centuries ago, providing a direct connection to the musical past of the medieval world. Number 13. Iron Hammer. In October 2019, a family volunteering at the Usha Archaeological site in Western Galilee made an extraordinary discovery that has added a fascinating new layer to our understanding of the region's history.
The ancient town of Usha. Now it's in ruins, but it was a small agricultural village in the Western Galilee.
Usha, a Jewish settlement dating back to 135 CE, is historically significant as the first location of the Sanhedrin following the Bar Kokhba revolt. While the site was already renowned for its extensive glass industry, known for producing exquisitely crafted glass goblets, this new find uncovered an aspect of Usha's past that had previously gone unnoticed: a thriving iron industry. The family's unearthing of a rare 1,400-year-old iron hammer provides a glimpse into this lesser-known facet of life in ancient Usha. This hammer is an exceptional find, as only about 20 iron hammers from the Byzantine period have been recorded in the Israel Antiquities Authority's archives, making this discovery particularly notable. Archaeologists overseeing the excavation believe that Usha's iron production likely focused on creating everyday items like nails and small rings. This suggests that Usha's economic role in the ancient world was more diverse and complex than previously recognized, encompassing not just glass, wine, and olive oil production, but also metalworking. Interestingly, Usha is mentioned in Jewish historical sources as the residence of Rabbi Yitzchak Nafcha, whose name is linked to the etymology of the word blacksmith. However, the iron industry at Usha did not coincide with his time. Instead, the site is primarily distinguished by its remarkable glass production, which reached its peak during the Byzantine period. The ongoing excavations at Usha, which involve around 15,000 pupils and volunteers, have unearthed a wide range of artifacts, including pottery, stone tools, and ritual baths. These discoveries offer valuable insights into ancient Jewish life and culture, deepening our understanding of the community that once thrived here. The Sanhedrin Trail Project, which spans the Galilee from Beit She'arim to Tiberias, further enriches this connection by allowing visitors to trace the footsteps of the ancient Jewish leaders who once called Usha their home. Number 12. Mountain caves. Carving temples and buildings directly into the ground beneath your feet is a monumental challenge. Doing the same thing on the side of a sheer mountain seems almost impossible. But in the early 20th century, an archaeologist stumbled upon an astonishing discovery in Tianshui, China, the Meijishan Grottos.
Currently at the Meijishan Grottos, which you can see behind me.
A breathtaking network of Buddhist sculptures and icons carved directly into the mountain. The Meijishan Grottos, often referred to as the Hill of Wheat Stack due to the mountain's unique shape, house more than 7,200 Buddhist sculptures and icons intricately carved into the giant sandstone cliffs. These incredible works of art have been preserved for over 1,500 years, standing as a testament to the remarkable craftsmanship of the ancient Buddhists who created them. From a distance, the side of the mountain appeared almost like a porous sponge, with countless holes dotting its surface. As the archaeologist ventured closer, it became clear that these holes were actually nearly 200 caves, interconnected by a complex network of ridges, stairways, and walkways. The scale and intricacy of the work left the archaeologist in awe, especially considering the limited tools and resources available at the time of their creation. Remarkably, the archaeologist also discovered that some of the stone used to create the sculptures inside the caves did not originate from the mountain itself. This finding suggests that the ancient craftsmen not only scaled the near vertical side of the mountain to access the caves, but also transported heavy stone materials from distant locations. Number 11. Wooden sarcophagus. In a truly remarkable discovery, Spanish archaeologists from Giants University have uncovered a beautifully preserved wooden sarcophagus at the Kubbat El Hawa necropolis in Aswan, Egypt. Hidden away for thousands of years, the delicately carved face of the sarcophagus, believed to hold the remains of a person of considerable status, has finally been brought into the light. This significant find is part of an ongoing excavation led by Professor Alejandro Jimenez Serrano and a team of 17 specialists from both Spanish and British universities. Over the course of a month, their efforts have already resulted in numerous notable discoveries, including 20 mummies and a tomb that dates back to approximately 1830 before the Common Era. The Kubbat El Hawa necropolis, carved into the rocky cliffside along the west bank of the Nile, was once the burial site for some of ancient Egypt's most distinguished officials. Overlooking the historically rich city of Aswan, this site comprises around 40 tombs belonging to governors, nobles, and other high-ranking figures from the Old Kingdom through the Middle Kingdom of Egypt. As such, it provides a treasure trove of information for historians and archaeologists alike. Employing a multidisciplinary approach, the team has utilized cutting-edge technologies such as reflectance transformation imaging, RTI, and 3D scanning. These advanced tools have enabled them to examine hieroglyphic texts with a level of detail and accuracy that was previously unattainable. By leveraging these techniques, researchers are able to analyze the intricate details of inscriptions and artifacts, uncovering stories and nuances that have remained hidden for centuries. Number 10. Teotihuacan, Mexico. The recent archaeological exploration of Teotihuacan, an ancient city located northeast of modern-day Mexico City, has unveiled significant insights into one of the most remarkable civilizations of prehistoric Mesoamerica. Dating from the 1st to the 7th centuries AD, Teotihuacan is celebrated for its impressive monumental architecture, including the Temple of the Feathered Serpent, Temple of Quetzalcoatl, the Pyramid of the Sun, and the Pyramid of the Moon. These grand structures were meticulously arranged according to sophisticated geometric and symbolic principles, reflecting the city's advanced understanding of astronomy and cosmology. The excavations at Teotihuacan have revealed that the city was a major center of trade and craftsmanship, particularly noted for its extensive deposits of obsidian, a volcanic glass used for creating fine tools. This discovery underscores the city's importance in the ancient world as a hub for producing and exporting such tools.
Cut right along here and get a chunk off, and then we can cut at another angle to get the shape of a knife blade.
Despite the significance of these finds, much about Teotihuacan remains enigmatic. The city's written records, consisting of hieroglyphs, are yet to be fully deciphered, and only a few tombs and burial sites have been uncovered. This limited evidence leaves many aspects of Teotihuacan's history and its inhabitants still shrouded in mystery, prompting ongoing research to further explore and interpret the city's rich archaeological heritage. Number 9. Stone tools. Our comprehension of the early stages of human or human-like life on Earth is ever evolving, with each new discovery holding the potential to significantly alter our understanding of history. A striking example of this occurred in July 2021, when archaeologists in Morocco made a groundbreaking find that has profoundly shifted our estimates.
They look like a rock. How do you know this was made intentionally by somebody?
Of when ancient humans first began crafting stone tools. At a quarry near Casablanca, researchers uncovered a tool site believed to have been created by members of the Homo erectus species approximately 1.3 million years ago. The tools discovered, predominantly Stone Age-style hand axes, represent the oldest of their kind ever found in the world. Before this discovery, the oldest known tools in the region were dated to around 700,000 years ago, underscoring the significance of this find. This excavation not only provides the oldest evidence of tool production in Morocco, but also pushes back the timeline of human-like species' presence in North Africa. The tools were discovered alongside animal bones, suggesting that these early humans engaged in butchering their kills for meat. This behavior hints at a level of sophistication and adaptability, indicating these early humans had the cognitive skills to manipulate their environment for survival. While the tools are currently attributed to Homo erectus, there is ongoing speculation that they might have been crafted by an as-yet undiscovered variant of early humans. This discovery underscores the dynamic nature of our understanding of human origins. Despite significant advancements in modern technology and archaeological methods, our knowledge of how our ancestors lived, evolved, and spread across the globe remains in its formative stages. Each new finding adds another piece to the intricate puzzle of human evolution. Number 8. Roman sarcophagus. In 1930, a routine home construction project in the village of Simpelveld in the Netherlands led to a remarkable archaeological discovery, an ancient Roman sarcophagus. Although the sarcophagus was not found in its original condition, it had been broken into pieces, and a hole was drilled into one side, likely by looters centuries ago to steal any valuables it contained. It nonetheless emerged as a significant artifact due to its unique characteristics. Unlike most Roman sarcophagi, this one was elaborately decorated on the inside. Among the few surviving items was a stylus, hinting that the person buried within was literate and possibly of notable status or profession in Roman society. This rare find attracted considerable attention because it provided a glimpse into the life of a Roman individual who likely had some level of education and social standing. Decades later, in 2021, after extensive and meticulous restoration, the sarcophagus was fully reassembled. This restoration was an impressive feat, considering that the sarcophagus was originally carved from a single enormous block of sandstone weighing nearly 1,800 pounds. The interior carvings are especially captivating, crafted to mimic the appearance of a room inside a Roman home. The detailed decorations and the depiction of a woman dressed in Roman clothing suggest that this burial dates back to the late 2nd century. Today, the fully restored sarcophagus is on display at the Rijksmuseum van Oudheden, the National Museum of Antiquities in Leiden, where it serves as a valuable piece of Roman history. Number 7. The Celestial Kelt. In Zurich, Switzerland, archaeologists uncovered a fascinating window into the ancient world of the Celts with the discovery of a remarkably preserved burial site. In 2017, the remains of a Celtic woman were found encased in a hollowed-out tree trunk, a unique burial method that offers significant insight into the customs and traditions of the Iron Age Celts. Estimated to have died around 2,200 years ago, circa 200 BCE, this woman was interred with great care and respect, wearing fine garments and adorned with jewelry that suggests she held a high status in her community. The detailed examination of her bones indicates that she was around 40 years old at the time of her death. The condition of her remains suggests she led a life of privilege, likely shielded from the demands of physical labor. Her burial attire further supports this theory. She was dressed in layers of finely crafted sheep's wool, fur, and sheepskin. The jewelry she wore was particularly striking, including bronze bracelets, a delicate belt, and a beautiful necklace made of amber and glass beads. This necklace featured a distinctive clasp, known as a brooch, which allowed her to attach blue and yellow beads, adding a personal touch to her burial ensemble. Adding to the intrigue, the discovery of another grave nearby containing a Celtic man, buried with a sword, shield, and lance, suggests a potential connection between the two individuals. The proximity of their graves hints at a possible relationship, whether familial or societal, highlighting the importance of their burials. The contrast between the man's warrior-like burial, complete with military artifacts, and the woman's more refined, jewelry-laden resting place, reflects the different roles and honors they likely held in life. The Celts, known for their fierce nature and widespread influence from Britain to modern-day Turkey, continue to be a subject of great interest to archaeologists. Despite numerous burial sites unearthed across Europe, much about their culture and traditions remains a mystery. The burial practices observed, such as the use of tree trunk coffins, and the personal items buried with the deceased, provide invaluable clues about their way of life. However, the complete story of the Celts' beliefs and daily practices is still largely unknown, leaving much to be discovered about these enigmatic people. Number 6. Rock shelters. Tucked away in the parched terrains of Somaliland lies a discovery like no other: the Las Geel rock shelters, heralded as one of the most remarkable archaeological finds of the 21st century.
Hargeisa, northeast of Hargeisa, and we're in one of the greatest archaeological sites in the Horn of Africa.
Upon first entering these natural caverns, archaeologists were stunned by what they encountered. The walls and ceilings were adorned with paintings that appeared almost impossibly vivid, as if they had been recently created. Initially skeptical about their age, the researchers soon uncovered a surprising truth. These stunning artworks were crafted over 5,000 years ago by Neolithic people. These paintings, so perfectly preserved by the cave's unique conditions, are not mere decorations. Instead, they serve as a vivid glimpse into the lives of people who existed thousands of years ago.
These would have been the landmarks of their world, as useful to them as stars to a sailor.
The Las Geel paintings are not just any ancient artifacts. They are considered the most well-preserved examples of their kind on the African continent. The reds, yellows, and whites used in these depictions remain strikingly bright, almost as if the artists had just finished their work. Most of these images illustrate cattle, an essential aspect of life for these early humans, offering us a rare insight into their culture and beliefs. The discovery of Las Guiles in 2002 by a team of French archaeologists was seen as a groundbreaking revelation. However, there was a surprising twist. The local community had been aware of these paintings for generations. According to their folklore, the caves were cursed, with the paintings believed to be created with human blood by the devil himself. While this legend adds an eerie layer to the story, it is just that, a legend. The true story? We still have much to learn about the artists and the culture that created these masterpieces, leaving it one of history's enduring mysteries. And now to our subscriber's pick. Our subscriber pick of the day features an ancient wooden wagon discovered on the shores of Lake Sevan near Lakashan village in Armenia. This nearly 4,000-year-old wagon is one of the oldest and best preserved wooden wagons ever found. Typically, wooden artifacts from this era don't survive well, but the unique cold, wet conditions by the lake helped preserve this one. In December 2017, archaeologists found nearly a dozen more wagons at the same site, though none were as well preserved as this one. All were made of oak, a strong wood used in ancient times for its durability. Some wagons were surprisingly small, suggesting they might have been pulled by people rather than animals. This would have been tough work, but was common in many ancient cultures, especially where large animals were impractical. So, viewers, tell us your thoughts on this 4,000-year-old wooden wagon. We'll be in the comments. Number 5. Kaduk and Bookit inscription. Continuing with the theme of discoveries made by archaeologists, let's travel back to November 1920, when a Dutch tourist named C.J. Battenberg, who remains largely a mystery in historical records, stumbled upon an extraordinary find along the banks of the Tatang River in South Sumatra, Indonesia. While exploring the area, Battenberg happened upon what is now known as the Kedukan Bookit inscription, an etched message on the side of a stone that would later be recognized as one of the most important linguistic artifacts in Southeast Asia. This inscription holds immense significance as it is the oldest known surviving example of the Old Malay language, which serves as the precursor to modern Malay and Indonesian, languages spoken by millions today. The importance of this discovery cannot be overstated. Dated precisely to May 1st, 683 CE, the inscription offers a rare and valuable window into the linguistic and cultural practices of the Srivijaya Empire, a powerful maritime kingdom that dominated much of Southeast Asia from the 7th to the 13th centuries. The fact that the inscription is written in Old Malay is particularly noteworthy because it marks a pivotal transition in the region's history from the widespread use of Sanskrit, the previously dominant language, to a more localized tongue that would eventually evolve into the languages we recognize today. Fortunately, the inscriber included the date, so we know that this message was carved into the stone on May 1st, 683 CE. Though the inscription is brief, the information it provides is both intriguing and mysterious. The English translation, however, leaves us puzzled. All hail and prosperity. In the year 605 of the Saka calendar, on the 11th day of the month of Isaka, Sri Baginda took dugouts in order to obtain Siddhayatra. On day 7, on the 15th day of the month of Jesta, Sri Baginda extricated himself from the Manangataman. He took 20,000 troops with him. Beyond this point, the text becomes too fragmented to decipher, but what remains suggests that Sri Baginda was in high spirits by the 15th day of the month, and he seemed both lively and content as he embarked on a journey into the countryside. The precise meaning of these events remains elusive, leaving us with more questions than answers about this enigmatic piece of history. Number 4. Monolithic Building. The Kailasa Temple in India is renowned as one of the most extraordinary architectural achievements in the world. Situated within the Ellora Caves in Maharashtra, this temple is the largest monolithic structure on the planet, carved entirely from a single massive rock. This colossal undertaking, believed to have been constructed over 18 to 20 years, was completed under the reign of the Rashtrakuta king, Krishna I, around the 8th century CE. Dedicated to Lord Shiva, the Kailasa Temple forms part of a larger complex of 34 cave temples at Ellora, which include representations of Buddhist, Hindu, and Jain traditions. The temple is not only remarkable for its sheer size, but also for its intricate carvings and precise architectural design. It is estimated that approximately 200,000 tons of rock were excavated to carve out the temple. The main sanctuary is surrounded by numerous smaller shrines and pavilions, each adorned with elaborate carvings depicting mythological scenes and various deities. In contrast, the Vetuvan Koil in Kalugumalai, Tamil Nadu, is another notable example of rock-cut temple architecture, though it remains unfinished, often referred to as the Ellora of the South, due to its architectural resemblance to the Kailasa temple. Vetuvan Koil also features detailed carvings, despite its incomplete state. The reasons behind the temple's unfinished nature remain a mystery, adding an element of intrigue to its history. While some have speculated that Vetuvan Koil might have served as a prototype or practice project for the Kailasa temple, there is no concrete evidence to support this theory. Nonetheless, both temples stand as proof of the incredible ingenuity and craftsmanship of ancient Indian artisans. Number 3. Oldest Amazonian cities. In a transformative moment for archaeology, recent advancements in light detection and ranging LiDAR technology have uncovered hidden ancient Mayan architecture deep within the dense rainforests of Guatemala. For centuries, the thick jungle canopy had concealed these remarkable structures, leaving them largely unknown until now. LiDAR technology, which uses airborne laser scanners to map terrain, has revolutionized our ability to explore and document ancient sites. By emitting laser pulses from aircraft, LiDAR can penetrate the dense foliage and bounce back from the ground, allowing researchers to create highly detailed maps of the hidden landscape beneath. This innovative method has revealed a vast network of ancient Mayan cities and structures that were previously obscured by the rainforest. Historically, only the tips of some Mayan monuments were visible above the forest canopy, providing only a partial glimpse into the scale and intricacy of the civilization's urban planning. The Mayan civilization, flourishing from around 2000 BCE until its decline over a millennium ago, left behind a rich array of architectural and cultural remains. However, much of this heritage was slowly reclaimed by the encroaching jungle. With the aid of LiDAR, archaeologists have uncovered detailed views of long-hidden Mayan sites, including elaborate city layouts and extensive infrastructure. Number 2. Roman-era weapons. In August 2021, an extraordinary cache of Roman-era weapons was unearthed at Sun Catlar on the Balearic island of Spain. This site, known for its ancient fortifications, had previously yielded no such discoveries. Historical records indicate that Sun Catlar was conquered by the Romans in 123 BCE, a timeline that aligns with the artifacts found. The cache includes a diverse array of items such as knives, arrowheads, projectiles, and practical objects like bronze spatulas and surgical instruments. These artifacts were discovered buried near a gateway, which was a crucial defensive structure of the fort. The strategic placement of these items suggests a deliberate act of ritualistic significance. In Roman military tradition, it was common to bury objects near important locations like gateways as offerings to Janus, the god of doors and passageways. Janus, depicted with two faces looking in opposite directions, was believed to oversee transitions and protect entrances. The practice of burying items as part of religious rituals was intended to enhance the protective qualities of these gateways and secure the fortifications against invaders. This discovery highlights the integration of religious rites with military practices in ancient Rome. By embedding such rituals into their strategic and defensive operations, the Romans sought to invoke supernatural protection for their fortifications. Number 1. Ancient coins. Most ancient civilizations eventually adopted coinage as their preferred currency, but the timing and methods of this adoption varied widely across cultures. In August 2021, archaeologists made a groundbreaking discovery in Guangdong, China, unearthing what is believed to be the world's oldest known coin mint. Estimated to be around 2,800 years old, this foundry is a significant site in the history of currency, offering a rare glimpse into the early development of coinage in ancient China. Supporting the claim that this site was a coin mint, researchers discovered metal currency shaped like spades, known as spade money. This early form of money was used for trade and economic transactions, reflecting the evolving complexity of economic systems in ancient China. Intriguingly, the foundry itself may predate these coinage artifacts by 100 to 200 years, suggesting that it initially produced other metal goods before transitioning to minting coins. This shift in production likely played a crucial role in the region's economic prosperity, facilitating trade and the standardization of currency. However, the mint's operations were relatively short-lived in historical terms. The site was abandoned about 2,400 years ago, after roughly 4 centuries of use. In addition to the foundry, archaeologists have identified remnants of ancient city walls and moats in the surrounding area. These findings suggest that the site was a significant regional center during the era of the ancient Shang state. The Shang dynasty, which ruled from around 1600 to 1046 BCE, was renowned for its advancements in bronze metallurgy and the development of early Chinese writing. The presence of such infrastructure at the foundry site hints at its importance in the region's historical and economic landscape, potentially serving as a hub for trade and manufacturing in the ancient world. While the evidence strongly indicates the site's historical significance and its role in the development of early coinage, further research is needed to fully understand its place within the context of the Shang state. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.